people. Good afternoon, folks. How you doing? I am here. We are on the air. I was sitting here talking to Ted about, is this damn crap that we're doing on this show, is it worth it? Are you people out there who are watching our show understand the importance of what the hell we're doing? And I was explaining to him about something I was looking at on YouTube right before I came upstairs. I had to walk up 16 flights of stairs on a newly repaired knee, which is very hard, but I did. And I'm listening to this guy who has called a podcast called Legal AF. His name is Michael Popak. And he decided to do an interview with some of the 23 attorney generals, Democratic attorney generals who are fighting the Trump administration right now. And he had a session and stuff, a personal session with Keith Ellison, who is the Minnesota Attorney General. And he was asking him questions about what they were doing and why they were in this fight. And one of the things and stuff, he at the end of it, he asked him, well, what do you guys and stuff as attorney generals think that the American people should be doing? First off, he said, we need to have these people out in the streets. He said the last rally that they did was excellent. They go every time they go out, they go up. He said we need that because it puts pressure on the legal system. And it also lets the people in the country know that there are people fighting for them. Another thing he said was that we have to continue to use our independent podcasters out there to give people the news that they need to know to make sure that they understand what the heck is going on, that there are people out there fighting for them, that the Democrats, even though they're not getting everything and stuff done, they some of them are still fighting. And he said that what they're doing and everything is that the attorney generals and stuff, they are working with a lot of other legal entities and stuff around the country, even though it doesn't seem like it. He said that some of the legislations that they're doing and stuff, and they're fighting the Trump administration. One of them was the SNAP program, and they had two the red states attorney generals and stuff and everything come in to help them to file the case and everything so they can reinstate SNAP to the people, because these attorney generals and stuff there in the red states are having a big problem and everything, because SNAP goes to their folks too. Their people are hungry and then they want them to eat. But it was ironic that he said that even though they did try to come in and help them on something, that they have not fully came in to help these Democratic attorney generals and stuff and everything fight this constitutional battle that we'd be going through. And that he said that they are afraid to do it. He said their organization and stuff, the MAGA folks, are so powerful and so strong that they have them under a hammer, and they can do a little bit to help, and they continue to want these Democratic attorney generals to win these cases, but their hands are tied because these MAGA folks are so damn strong that they can't do anything. So it was ironic that he had said that, and I thought I might tell the audience about this so they understand what the heck going on and what battles that we are in and stuff right now. So what we're doing, people, is worth it, and I'm glad to hear that other folks out there are begging us to do what the hell we're doing, and that we got a lot of podcasters out there. I mean, a lot of them out there who are independently and stuff putting news out there, because we are not getting everything that we need from these major news medias like ABC and NBC, CBS, Fox, or whatever. They are bought and paid for by the conservative MAGA group. These billionaires are buying them off, and they're telling these uh, news outlets and everything what they need to put on the air. And if they're not putting on the air what they want to hear, they're firing them. So we're out here on our own, people. But here we are doing our thing here. So hopefully some of you guys will turn around and tell your friends who have been watching the show and everything, go out there and watch them old guys and stuff and everything, that they got a lot to say. Thank you. Anyway, Ted, that was my beginning news hour thing, I guess you might want to call it or whatever. So let's get
Well,
going, people.
you said that, was it worth it? You might have been struggling a little bit getting upstairs and all that. Was it worth it coming upstairs to do the show or whatever? I know you enjoy it, just like I do. I enjoy it. Some days it gets a little tough. However, for me, it's always worth it because I can express how I really feel, and I just, hey, from the heart, the mouth will speak. And to me, and I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people might not understand it, and a lot of people will, those that listen. This is a spiritual warfare in my mind. The political thing is people who have politics and, they get some change in their pocket and they vote one way or try to come against certain things and what have you. And, they want to live a better life or whatever life they want to live. However, the thing is, people, the one thing that I look at, see, I know where I came from. I know what it took for me to get this far. And when you have children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews and uh, friends and their children and grandchildren, what I think about is the future. I'm not thinking about my future. Hey, I done did what I'm going to do. And I might do a little something else here and there, but it won't be, all that significant, you know. Uh, there are so many things that are little things you can do, little things here and there, go out, just like Ed mentioned about how he helped, a few people with food, or you can go volunteer and distribute clothes, or you can, whatever, you see somebody walking and it looks like they're homeless, you can give them $20 or whatever. However, the thing is that I always say this has always been a spiritual warfare for people who want to live their best life. There are people that do not want you to live your best life, meaning proper education. You know, I don't care what it is, if you want to be a doctor, or if you want to be a clerk, if that's your best life, that's your best life. But there are people out there that do not want you to live your best life. And some of it is the color of your skin, and some of it could be other things. However, when I do this show, I like for us to bring things that are informative, but then also I like to bring things that my opinion, because I'm a very opinionated person, just like everybody else. And you can agree or disagree, and if you disagree or agree, hey, you can put it on the chat. And I feel that, like I said, I'm gonna go right back to when I began. This is a spiritual warfare to stop many people for seceding. That's why we have 2 million people in jail and in prison. That's why we have over 500,000 foster care people. That's why we have over 1.5 million homeless. The greedy. This country can provide all of that. And I ain't saying we're going to have a whole utopia, but what I'm saying is, ain't no way in the world this country should be treating our own people the way they're treating us. That's the way I feel about it. And that's my spiritual warfare. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning just to get up. I'm having battles. Now, I'm just one person, intercessor, prayer warrior. I ain't perfect, But one thing I do know is God hears my prayers. So that's where I'm coming. That's the way I'm coming at this thing. And I've always come like that. And that's been my whole life for over 50 years. And that's why I say everything always gets better. That's my experience. It's always gotten better. But right now we're in a spiritual warfare. And we have those from time to time. So that's where my heart is. That's why it's important for me to express my opinions because I'm gonna tell you, I give a shit about politics, but politics is our life. This country is all about politics, political cronyism. Not what you know is who you know. But we better than that. A lot of us are better than that. Not everybody, a lot of us. So, so today, real quick.
Okay. Hey, we had to get that out, man. I had to get that out. I had to say what I had to say, and I know you had to say what you had to say. So,
Yeah, but today,
everybody
man, was
out
a
there,
mess, bro.
this
The
is
day was a mess.
yeah, this is
I mean, the day was a mess, man. I mean, they on the floor talking about coming against socialism. These Republicans saying they're trying to do some kind of legislation on we will not have socialism in this country. And you know, we went down that line. You know, we are a capitalist country with socialist tendencies.
I think, Ted, that these Republicans have been sitting back and keeping their mouths shut for all these months and let Donald Trump just be their bully pulpit for them. And so now, since they're seeing that the country is slowly but surely going against them, they're trying to uh, get their bearing and everything and start doing something and everything to show the people that they have a voice and stuff out there. And I don't know if it's too late for them to do it or what, but some of that stuff that they're coming out with and everything, I guess they little pea brains were sitting back and not saying anything and thinking about all this stuff, and then they come up with these weird ideas and everything, hoping that they can do the same thing Trump does. He can go out there and tell people a lie, or give them these weird ideas and stuff, and people start believing it. But some of that people out there, the population in this country has wised up. They These people are not stupid, even though a lot of them not educated. They are not stupid, and they know and they're understanding now that they're being lied to. They've been told all kind of untruths and everything, and but they continue to try to, you know, nasty word, bullshit these people, bullshit their constituents, and they can't do it anymore. It's not. That stuff is absolutely crazy. Everybody knows, well, most people know that Medicare and Social Security is a socialist program. They know that Medicaid is a socialist program, but they still try that old bull crap and everything, just like the Senate and everything. The House sent them that bill over there to stop these senators and stuff from getting that $500,000 and stuff and everything because they want to sue the federal government. But they got Lindsey Graham over there cussing and hollering and stuff and saying, fuck that shit, that he gonna keep that money and stuff to himself and he ain't gonna vote for it. So he done put a stop on it. He said, we ain't gonna vote for this stuff. How he did that is the Senate rules, which is archaic and bullcrap, and people don't know about it. But one person can put their no out there and they can stop any daggone thing coming inside their Senate. It's real.
Did you hear what he said though?
Huh?
He said that he's gonna make it. What you call those? anybody else that want to come with him, he's gonna make it a class action suit. So now you're talking billions of dollars. If you've been harmed by this stuff, and I have been harmed, but see, this is a show. This is a show like trying to get the Democrats to look bad because they were trying to find out the Russian collusion, and a lot of them was in part of it. Because I'll never forget when those Republicans went to Russia. It was a 7 or 8 of them, maybe a dozen of them. I'll never forget it. It was a round table. They had pictures and everything, talking to Putin. Now, what the hell they was talking about, I have no idea. And it could have been about Trump, telling them senators, Trump is your man. He's gonna do all the things that's got to be done. What you want. Who knows? I don't know. But what I'm saying is that it was Russian collusion. I don't care what nobody say. These people got a plot. They got a plot, and they've been plotting and plotting and plotting, and they ain't gonna stop. They can, the problem is with the Democrats. When things start going smooth, then they let their guards down, and then there you go, they get them again. You can never let your guards down on these people because they're always plotting and scheming, and in the back rooms or in the bedrooms, whatever they do, they're plotting because they're always plotting. Because, like I said before earlier, they don't want everybody to come on up because there's too many people that's so smart and geniuses. They kill them off, or they put them in jail, or they turn them into drug addicts, or whatever. We got a whole lot of smart people in this country here that we have wasted. That's just my opinion because I saw it when I was coming up. Whole lot of smart people in this country, man, that could have helped this country even be better than what it is. Did you hear my Florida representative this morning?
Which one? The one that the Mills guy?
No, Salazar.
Oh, Salazar.
I
Okay, go
think that
ahead.
was her name, Salazar. She's from Cuba. She's a representative for Florida, and she was coming against Waters, Maxine Waters from California.
Okay.
And she sat there and called her out, Maxine Waters, talking about we didn't, she talking about all this Venezuela stuff, and she didn't say one word when the Cubans, when all the Cubans was trying to get over here to run from, the regime of Cuba, and they was being eaten by sharks and captured and tortured and all of that stuff.
Oh, that was around Carter's time, was it? When they were coming across in these little old craft boats and everything, their makeshift boats that they were getting, they were coming in 90
All they had
miles.
to do was they
Yeah,
all they had to do was
they were
touch the
getting like
soil, and then boom, they was automatically Americans.
yeah, and as soon as they come here and everything, he put them in the concentration camp, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that. I
Yeah,
thought
when
I
they came
thought
across here, they were trying to get over here because they were scared of Castro, and they were coming across, man, in these little makeshift boats and stuff filled with people and stuff, and a lot of them drowned. So what happened with her?
well, Maxine Waters told us that I want every word that she said be struck and down. So she had to come back and basically apologize and strike the words and then change her whole little nasty speech, you know. And the thing is that first of all, you ought to have been grateful that the American people let so many Cubans come here, which they have destroyed Miami. A lot of them, some of them made it better. But the bottom line was And then she started going off about the Afghanistans and the Iraqis and the different people that come here that's here now. Well, what is the reason why these people came here? Because you had a makeshift war, a made up war over there, and they didn't know the language. The military didn't know the language. They had to partner with so many people, so they allowed so many Afghanistan. We got maybe a couple of million Afghanistan people here, and a couple of million Iraqis here, and on and on. And they just got off the boat, just like she did. Just got off the boat.
Does
You
she
got
understand?
Indian people here
Does
trying
she
to trying to dominate the political system.
does she understand why they Afghans and Iraqis were brought here?
She must don't.
They were getting ready to kill those people
Yeah,
because they were helping the Americans.
yeah,
Those were our allies. Inside their country. When we invaded their country, these people helped our soldiers, and a lot of them kept these soldiers from getting killed.
yeah.
And that's why they brought them over
And the
because
thing
once they
is that America was over there trying to liberate them, and they didn't even want to fight for their own country. We provided training. We had hundreds of thousands of soldiers trying to train these people how to fight.
and when
Gave
they
them,
lost
paid
and they
them a
lost the war, we
salary
brought them
here,
over because
paid
man,
taxpayer dollars, paid them a salary. As soon as America started winding down, they dropped their guns. They stopped fighting, gave up.
I have a hard time, Ted, understanding why these people do not understand their history. You have to learn the history of where you're at. When you go somewhere, you need to know their history and
They don't know our history,
shut
man.
your
They don't
damn
want to
mouth
know it.
and learn about what's going on. We understand what's going on because we've been here a long time. We see the people that they came here. At least I do. Anytime they come here, I understand why they come, and I realize that. And shit, man, I can go all the way back to years and years and decades back and tell people, they ask me about, well, why this came about. This came about because of so and so. He did this. Johnson did to help to pass the Civil Rights Act. President Johnson. Most of them don't even remember that he did that. That he
And why did
gave
Johnson do that?
he did it and stuff because of what Dr. King was doing. They
Thank
were
you.
killing. They were they were harassing people, putting dogs on them and everything down in the South. And he finally said that he couldn't have that stuff going on, and people outside this country seeing us because we're sitting there telling these other countries and stuff, you need to have democracy. You need to bring democracy to your country. You know, communism is bad. But how are you going to tell somebody that your democracy is good and you over here and not even allowing your own people to vote? That looks bad. So we said we got to do it. But he knew when he did it that he was not going to win in the next election because all those folks in the South wasn't going to vote for him. And that's why they've turned from Democrats, because they were Democrats, turned to Republicans. That's how the Republicans got so strong down in the South right after that,
And the reason
1968.
why they hated President Obama is because he was trying, in his own way, to better these countries that were not democratized. That was his whole big bit. You know, he was doing a lot of things for the American people, but mostly he was doing a lot of stuff for foreign affairs, helping these people. He was making availability for people to better themselves. I remember, man, it's a book called Capital, and this book goes all down the details, and it tells you the percentages and the data. How when President Obama became president, how each one of some of these countries were getting better and better because they were providing, and he persuaded a lot of these countries around the world to build up some of these countries to make them, because it would be better to educate people and all over the world. and build things up there so they can live in their country. But then you had these dictators, because I remember back in the '60s, bro, it was a big thing getting rid of these dictators. Now here we right back where we were almost.
And we really didn't realize it, but some of the people didn't realize that he made NAFTA. He made NAFTA.
Yeah,
That national trade thing that we had with Canada and Mexico. He started that, and he tried to negotiate this TPP, this Trans-Pacific partnership that they have for trade, so
yes,
everybody can start trading and stuff and free
yeah,
trade in all the world. And Trump
yeah,
comes in and said, "Damn that shit, we gonna cut that shit out. We ain't gonna trade with
yeah.
these people." And now we're in a position now to where people outside this country and stuff don't want to trade with us anymore.
The thing
He's
is,
slowly
Ed, we
peeling
were
off.
winning.
I
Ed,
know.
we were winning. We had a deal with Iran to not to do the nuclear thing, and we had people going in there inspecting what they were doing. All kinds of stuff he was doing to help around the world. He was doing things for Africa. He was all kinds of things. So I think that when you have greed, Ed, and these people saw that they can make money and start taking contracts. See, he the one buoyed up Musk. If it wasn't for Obama, because Obama wanted more electric cars, so he gave him his first contract to a system because he was going broke.
That's the difference in stuff that we see in what the presidency is right now and what we saw in 28 all the way to 2016 is like night and day, man. It's like going from the light, bright light outside to the damn darkness. We are sitting here in the dark, and it is not a pretty sight sitting in the dark and trying to keep ourselves above water. And
Well, you got these foreigners who just got off the boat who are Republicans now, and they manage because they group their constituents. You know, one thing you got to give them, they do stick together, so they can convince their constituents to vote them into office. Republicans is paying them a lot of money. All kinds of ways to get money to them, so that they can speak up for the Republicans and dog the Democrats. You know, I saw some lady from Korea. Korea has their own little Korean town and all that kind of stuff. And you know, if you're a Korean and you live in, 50% of your population in that community is Korean, they're gonna vote for you. And all you gotta do is convince the white folks you're a Republican. So therefore, I believe in the conservative ways. There you go. They vote for them. Same thing when it comes to these Cubans. Same thing when it comes to these Latinos. So, and then they become big shots in their community because, they live in large. They forgot where they came from and they don't realize they don't know the history of the struggles. They know the history, but they don't appreciate the struggles that the black folks did to try to get where we are now. And then they come in and they want to destroy every damn thing. And the white folks saying, yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to go ahead and talk about them Democrats and then use some code words. Because to them, every black man is a thug. You know, black folks, all they want is welfare and free stuff. That's the lie they keep
But
telling.
there's more white folks, Ted, on food stamps.
We know
There's
that.
more white folks on Section
And
8.
they know it. We know it and
Yeah,
they know it.
they know that we know that, but we are a symbol of welfare, and that's what
Yeah.
they have done. Anytime they want to make it look bad, they bring up a black person and stuff. He's a symbol of welfare. He want food stamp. He want free this and free that.
Look at
But
them. They constantly, right now, they got a lady, black representative, under They trying to get her for talking about she embezzled $5 million. They just put it out there lying. They got another brother that just talking about something happened during Obama's years that he's supposed to misappropriated funds and gave Obama some campaign money that he wasn't supposed to get. That
Yeah.
happened 15 years ago.
They
So
gave,
this is all they doing.
they gave
They trying
14
to
years.
find any kind of shit they can on black folks and then put it out there, and then it's all in the news. They ain't slick, bro. But this is a warfare, bro. This is a warfare. Ain't nobody perfect. People make mistakes. You gonna maybe forget the dot of I here and there, but I don't think any of these people was malicious like these people. These people are flat out doing it in our face, doing it flat out in our face. These people better learn, man, and put these guardrails up. They better put these guardrails up. I'm telling you.
Well, we got a whole lot of other stuff going on out here, people. We done had Saudi Arabia to come over. Today, they have Zohan Mandami coming to the White House to visit the president, newly elected mayor of New York. And for
Didn't
some
put that
reason,
on TV, did he?
or another, Trump said that we gonna have a blackout. We don't want no press here to see what happens and stuff with him and Mandami.
Because
So
he ain't gonna take his shit.
yeah, there ain't no press going on here. They throw them out. And if you and for all you folks out there, the press ain't they might as well be little kids walking in the door and stuff and sitting in the classroom and everything with their little fat pencils and big crayons out and everything because the press secretary and everything is treating them just like little children. He said it's okay if the president calls one of them piggy, a big big fat piggy, you a piggy, you this and that and another, and she had nerve enough to tell them that they ought to like it. You ought to like it because he telling you the truth. I couldn't believe what that lady said. It was awful, horrible. That Carolyn Levitt is something else. I cannot believe that she be saying some of the crap she be saying. I can't believe it. And she act like she believed that stuff. And the press is sitting down, they're just eating it up. Now, if they had any kind of sense and stuff, all they got to do is say, hey, we ain't putting up with this mess and get the hell out of there. Have your own press shit going on. Go to Fox and do your stuff because this stuff is making us look like I don't know. I don't know how they do it. There's no way, Ted, that I can sit there and be a press secretary and talk and ask questions and stuff and expect a daggone decent answer to come out of those people who were sitting up there on that daggone pulpit up there. I don't know. It's just, and anything that comes out of her mouth is a damn lie. And she had gotten so daggone good at it that anytime they need somebody to defend the president, they'll call her up. Oh yes, he's the president. You should really appreciate this, and he is this. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this, and we wouldn't have that.
Well, all you gotta do is look at their countenance, their facial expressions, and their unhappiness of you know I don't classify myself as a liar, but when I lie about something, it's all in my face, it's all in my chest, and I have to correct that lie.
I
But
don't
when
believe
you
she can.
lie, it's something about lying that eats you up. It constantly eats you up. It might take time, but the one thing that I can't understand that this man, 47, lies so much. It's almost like mentally, I think he thinks he's telling the truth because in his mind, some kind of way, he will lie about something,
So you're
and
saying
I
that.
don't get it. I
So
don't get
you're
it. How do
saying
you
that
live with
you're saying
yourself?
that he has programmed his mind to lie. He just programmed by the lie because if anybody look at the numbers that he be telling people that we're bringing in trillions of dollars, and he got what he up to what 18 trillion now or 23 trillion
Oh,
that's
he
supposed
in
to be
the
coming in.
20s now, bro. He in the 20s.
He's the 20 trillion. Oh, okay, now we got all of that money coming in. Why in the hell we got a $38 trillion debt? That don't add up. It don't add up. But people will sit there and listen to it and won't even say anything. So, Mr. President, that doesn't add up.
And besides that, Ed, if you got bringing in so much money on this tariff, why don't you put it on the debt?
That's what I'm saying. Why is the debt still high? That doesn't make any sense. You bringing in this kind of money. It doesn't make any sense. But he sits there and says it, and nobody disputes him when he says it.
Well,
Hell, a 3-year-old kid can put those figures together, add and subtract, multiply, divide. That don't add up. And but he's covering up, Ted. He's covering up a big mess, man, that's coming down. We know he's covering up a big mess. And the reason why he brought the Saudi prince over here and everything is because he needs some money. He definitely for to have him come over here and spend some money. And the Saudi prince and stuff know it. He know he desperate for his money because he got cash and we don't. We're sitting around here printing money that we don't even have. And the dollar is going down, 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 down. And the devil is going to meet the road here in just a little bit. That debt is going to tear us up, and I have no idea how we're going to get out of it because I don't believe Scott Bessent even helping out the Treasury Secretary. He's around there. I was listening to this economist and stuff last night, Ted, on Midas Touch usually allows a lot of these experts to come on their station now. And he mentioned something that I hadn't looked at. That all these countries out there, Japan, China, all these people who are carrying our debt are selling our debt off, and they're not. But the Japanese are buying our debt. Our debt, most of our debt now is over Japan. The Japanese own our debt, and how they got to own our debt was when we had the COVID thing going on, and these banks and stuff were giving out money at 0% interest, and even lower than that. You didn't have to pay anything back. So the Japanese, when they found this out, they went out there and bought all this daggone money, put it in their daggone bank, and that's the money that they're using to buy our debt. So Bassett is trying to go over to Japan and get them to raise their interest rates up. He don't want them to get as much money back off of that interest and stuff that the money from which we just borrowed, because the money that they get back from us, that they're going to get a huge amount of interest payments and stuff that they weren't expecting, and they don't even owe interest on the damn money because they borrowed it at 0% interest. Huge amounts of money. These people are playing us, Ted, playing us like a well-tuned guitar. Oh,
Today,
oh, it just popped up. Mandami was, just left the meeting with Trump, and Trump said he enjoyed the meeting.
of course, and then he'll talk about him like a dog in the
Yeah,
next couple of
yeah, it's
days.
all like I know. He just popped up. He said he just left the meeting, and Trump said he enjoyed the meeting. Said it was great. Oh man. But anyway, getting back to that, I don't know when this stuff gonna hit the road and everything, but it's coming, man. We can't keep on doing this. Our households cannot keep borrowing money to live. You can't keep borrowing money to live, to buy food, to pay your other bills off. You can't keep doing it. It's not going to sustain itself. And there are so many people out there who are doing it. All these people out there on these news folks, they bring them on there. What's going on here? And most of them will tell you that they are not bringing in any money hardly at all, and at least half or quarter of what they do, they're using credit cards to feed their families. Something's going to have to give here in just a little bit. You can't keep doing that because eventually those credit cards are going to reach the maximum and stuff. And you ain't got no more money. And then you still got to make your payments. Do you know that one of the companies that is holding our debt is coming out of the Cayman Islands? They hold a huge amount of our debt, the Cayman Islands. Now, who lives in the Cayman Islands, Ted, that can hold several or a couple $1 trillion and stuff to buy our debt in that little island? It's sitting up there on the books. go on their website, you'll see it. It's on their books.
Yeah, I've read all of it.
Yeah, the Cayman Islands on there. Yes, the money is false. It ain't there. They're playing a game.
Well, like I said, the thing is that a lot of these people. Today I listened to Lisa Cook. Lisa Cook is a Federal Reserve governor.
That's the governor that they tried to indict for mortgage fraud. Is she the one?
Yes, and this lady was speaking in front of Georgetown University students. She did a speech, very precise, very, the economics and the precisions that she was talking about was like, you would have to have a PhD to understand that shit. And she was talking about the different sectors, and she went into the AI, of course, and she talked about, the coins and what have you. And when some of the students, after she finished her speech, some of the students was asking some very, very precise questions, and she laid it out on them, bro. She laid it out on them. She was talking about all kinds of different scenarios and situations and the economic part of what's going on in this country, and how they have gathered the data to keep this thing going. And the one thing that she did assure everyone is that the guardrails are out there to not have another 1929, according to her. She said that right now this Bitcoin, or wherever they call the coins that they got going, wherever they got going, the thing is that this is still under, people are, she called it the genius center, I guess you would call it, or group. And these people are trying to figure out what exactly these Bitcoins, because I don't know if you noticed, Bitcoin now is down to 85 million a coin, 85,000 a coin.
Man, that's a big ass drop, man, from a month ago at $114,000.
Yeah. So
that's a big ass drop.
So the thing is like I said, is that both of these items, in my opinion, Bitcoin and AI is a scam. AI has its purpose and it's good and it does things, but the way she explained it, because she was saying that some of these people are using AI for stock market trading.
Yep, they've been doing it.
And some of it is working for certain people and certain is not, because a lot of things that AI is all it's doing is gathering data up and what have you. And but that's here and there. But what I'm saying is that you cannot tell me that this woman don't belong where she's at.
Oh, that wasn't the point. The man just Trump just didn't like her because she wasn't doing what he wanted her to do.
I understand
That
that,
was
but
that was the problem. He just she wasn't doing.
there were people out there saying that she was a DEI hire.
But Trump didn't want her there because she wasn't doing what he wanted her to do. He couldn't control her.
I just wanted to say that.
There are, and we know this, Ted, that we're gonna keep on saying it and holler to the high Jesus and stuff and everything. That we got some smart ass black folks out there, but they are just being treated like like slaves. They don't know what they're talking about because they're black. They're dumb. They the ones who won't aid you. They are welfare folks. They're not worth it. And we got to stop listening to that stuff. We got to tune that crap out and keep on going and doing what we know is right. And the more we tell the people and stuff, quit listening to that crap. Then people saying that something wrong with you, quit listening to it. But it's not true.
Well, as long as you have people like people that don't know and don't understand that are mouthpiece for these folks, and maybe might not even be mouthpiece. They might be thinking that they saying the right things. Like Pharrell. Did you hear what Pharrell said?
Mm-mm.
I'm paraphrasing. He said, "Why would we have DEI? Because we have to be excellent. We have to be excellent. We got to be the best. We got to be excellent. Why would we need DEI?" Yeah, I agree. Excellent. What is excellence? What is excellence? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is the hell is excellence? Because you can be, uh, in my opinion, you know, I'm gonna do the best I can with what I can do, and that's all I got. But there are people can do 10 times as much as I can do.
But Ted, that wasn't why DEI was created.
Thank you.
It wasn't why it was
Thank
created.
you.
DEI was created so they would make a space for us to come into. We already knew we were smart and we were excellent, but they were keeping us out of the marketplace. So they
Wasn't
wanted to
even
make a
giving you the
space.
interview.
They wanted to force these companies and stuff and the government to open up a space and stuff, and they called it DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. They wanted to include these people, black folks and stuff, and minorities in what's going on in the country. Not because they were dumb or stupid, but they needed some space in there because it was being occupied by all these favoritism going on in the government and favoritism and nepotism and stuff going on in these jobs. So they're saying, hey, you guys need to hire these amount of people and stuff and everything. They are qualified. We're going to make a space for them. So they call that space DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Thank you. That's all it was.
It had nothing to do with if they were smart or not.
If you qualify for the job, you get a chance to get an interview, and
Absolutely.
therefore, and I look and I say, okay, well, I'm gonna hire you because you qualified for the job.
Right.
And
They set aside so much percentage was set aside for people to come in there and have those jobs. And
well, I'm gonna give you my experience. When I used to work for the LA Times selling advertising, I used to have to go to these big corporations, and usually when I go through there, I would have to go through all kinds of offices and, you know, little places, you know, to get to the decision maker where I can do my little presentation. And every time I go through these little offices and everything, I look around, there were no black people. Hundreds of white folks behind desks, no black people. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you go to these, you know, when you have an opportunity to speak to these top decision makers and you making presentations and talking to them about advertising or whatever the case may be, and here I am, a person of color, and I'm walking through there, I'm saying, I'm looking at it, I'm saying, damn, where's all the black folks? They deliberately do not hire people of color. And that's the big deal. And a lot of these companies have government contracts. They do business with black people.
They
They
have
sell
to.
their products to black people.
They call it the 10% set aside. 10% set aside. You had a job, a government job, you had to have 10% set aside. Hiring people, minorities
And
and
then
stuff
the
coming
thing
with your
about it
firm.
is, the sad part about it is that those few black people, you know, like the position I had, a lot of these people think they're special. They think they're special. I wasn't special. They like think they're special. That they, you know, broke the ceiling and all that stuff because I'm smart or because, you know, I made it this far. No, you're not. I just got an opportunity. But that's all you're looking for is opportunity to prove yourself. Just like they want to prove themselves, I guess, unless they got the job because Jimmy down the street knew them. But I'm just saying, that's all anybody look for is an opportunity to get the interview, to sell that you can do the job. Then you get an opportunity to prove yourself that you can do the job. Can't do the job, you get fired. So that's the way I looked at it. And you know, and that's the reason why Elon Musk left, because he said, these people, he realized, you know, these people are doing what they're supposed to do.
And he didn't save any money.
No, he didn't.
Didn't save a dime. And
No, he didn't.
nobody wants to even acknowledge that. He did
No,
not save one dime that
no,
they said he was going to save.
no. And they paid them Doge
They don't
people hundreds
pay
of
them
thousands
people
of dollars.
hundreds, billions of dollars. Ted, they come out there with billions of dollars. Man, they didn't give him no. That was chump change. That man came out there with billions of dollars in his pocket. They probably still paying him. He probably still getting a check from the government right now for that work he was doing. I bet you he is.
Well, my thing is that he got all our records.
He did. He got every damn thing he wanted to get. And he's going to use it some kind of way down the road. It's going to come out. All that stuff they allowed him into Social Security Administration, everything. He's going to use all that stuff. He got it stashed away somewhere. Only thing that happens, he's not using it right now, but he's going to probably using stuff when he needs it. He got it stashed away somewhere and hold it on to it. He got a treasure trove of information that he done stole. And we won't
Well,
know
my
about it.
last word is this, Ed. It's always going to get better. Just hang on. Keep resisting and keep moving. Keep it moving. We're just going through a period right now. I don't know how long this period gonna last, but we're going through a period, and I think uh, certain things can happen at any time. It can go one way or it can go the other. It can get worse or it can get better.
It can't get any worse. I don't
Oh,
believe it
yes,
can
it
get any
can.
worse. I don't believe
Oh,
it get
yeah.
any worse. I don't believe it get
Oh,
any
yeah,
worse
it can
than that.
get worse.
I
But
don't
what I'm
believe it get
saying
any worse.
is that
It's because
if
it's bad now,
enough
Ted.
people, I think you said it earlier, Ed, that those people say we need another one of those, this time double the amount of people that's out there.
There is going to be, after the first of the year, it's going to be an explosion out there, Ted. It's going to be a mess, a absolute mess. When you've got 20 some, almost 30 some million people who probably won't have health coverage. You're going to have 1.5 million people that they're taking food stamps from that already that they barely make it on food stamp now, and they're going to take it from them. And you're talking about veterans, you're talking about children,
Disabled,
disabled, all of them. They're going to be out there. They're not going to be able to make it. And these people around here are sitting there knowing that this crap is getting ready to happen. But as long as they got what they want, they are fine with it. But I'm not fine with it. I'm not. I know it's getting ready to happen. I'm looking at it, and I don't have no idea what to do. And I feel sorry for these folks and this shit gonna happen to. I don't care what they are. They can be in a red state, blue state, or whatever. I don't care. This stuff is going to happen to them, and there's no way, Ted, that I can sit here and sit in this chair and I got a roof over my head and got food in my house that I'm gonna feel happy about this. Thanksgiving, I don't know what to say or what to do. I'm gonna sit down there. My family gonna have a whole big old table full of food, but there gonna be people out there that are gonna be hungry and don't have nothing.
oh, there'll be plenty of people serving up, going to different shelters and what have you. And
But but them shelters are gonna be full, Ted. These people out there gonna be hundreds and thousands, millions of people out there who probably won't have hardly anything to eat at all.
well, this right here is this is not our fault because this is the Congress people and the Senate that allowed this to go on so long. And it was my understanding that President Obama cut the homeless for military in half. He cut the poverty level the way he was doing it in half. He had provided uh, all kinds of programs for people to get back in school. Those that want to be nurses, those that wanted to become carpenters and plumbers and what have you. What did this guy do? He went and closed down Peace Corps. He closed down Peace Corps. We got one right here in St. Pete. Closed it down. All over the country, he closed all those down. Now, what a lot of those people do, the foster care people, what they do is they leave the foster care, and then and some of them, even while they're in foster care, they're going through training at these places. They teach them how to be plumbers or whatever, carpenters, welders, all of that, and they closed it down. They did a big story of that right here in Hillsborough County, and that's all over the country. President Biden set up all kinds of programs for people to learn all of these different kinds of trades and what have you. Close it down, shut it down. So this is where we at. I mean, this dude, he don't care but about money. That's it for himself and his family, and his cronies. So I hope they eat well. Well, I ain't gotta hope that. I know they will.
Yep. Well, people, another day I've enjoyed myself. We done went through this program, and I'm sitting here praying and hoping that all you folks out there who listen to us, bring them other folks on, because we got a lot to say, people. We just touched the tip of the iceberg of what's going on out there. There's a lot of things that's happening that's affecting you directly. And some kind of way, like Ted said, and I know I've been saying that I don't like this stuff and everything, we're going to have to find a way to get through this. Some kind of way. We're going to have to find a way. And if I know something that's going to help some of you guys and stuff out there, hey, I'm going to put it out here on the show. If you guys got any questions, we got comments and stuff. We're going to start checking our comments. You got some comments you want to make, you want some ideas and stuff to help us to improve the show, let us know. Let us know. We're open. There is no bad ideas out there. Even if somebody looks on our daggone channels, I don't like what you all saying. Only thing I can tell them, that's your prerogative. We live in a country that's free. It's freedom of speech, and you can say what you want to say. And God bless you too. It's the only thing I can say. Talk to you folks later. Bye.